My mom would wake up every day and she'd wake up every day and walk 3 miles and then get us all to school.
Dude.
And then go to work.
What time would she wake up, dude?
My mom was like a 6 a.m.
Yeah,
what a beast.
You need to be waking up. That is like, she's a gangster.
And then she would come home, get off work at 3 or whatever it was. Make sure we're all picked up from school, come home and cook dinner.
Yeah. Okay. I get that. That is amazing.
And not only that, some of the dinners she would cook required preparation the night before. So she would set all that stuff up the night before.
Mm-hmm. And would they slow cooker or crock pot?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know all the techniques, but yeah, I mean, not so much crock pot.
I love crock pot.
But if she were doing something like a roast or even if it were pasta, you would start the pasta sauce the night before. You would get that, and of course a lot of the stuff she would make in batches and you'd freeze, and so you would take it out and let it thaw out.
She had her systems in place.
She had her system down.
I have not got my systems in place yet. I still have 2 kids who've only just gone to school.
Yeah.
Growing up in the industry, you lack structure because it's inherent to, now I got to go. I have, I just got called. I have a call back and now I got to leave. And that's why I was never able to do team sports or anything like that. Even in college, couldn't make the dance team. I wanted to, but they were like, yeah, we can't trust that you're going to be there for us when we do semifinals or whatever the hell it is. And I was just heartbroken because I had always kind of wanted to be a part of that. Ren was about as close to that kind of structure that I ever really was experiencing. So
in this episode with the
theme is structure.
The structure that you had was not your life.
I would say on the surface, I'm still a hot mess. But if you know me day to day, really, truly intimately, I think you can say, well, Christy, there is a side of you that really tries. You really try to show up for your commitments and keep your shit together for your kids and your family and all that.
Sure.
Because otherwise, a lot of things wouldn't happen. So I love throwing my kids parties and I love volunteering at their school. Like I said, showing up for those commitments is actually, it's part of my sobriety. It kind of really helps my spirituality is honoring my commitments. And because of the lack of structure that I've had for so long, I'm actually, and you say sometimes you're like, well, I'm actually the most extroverted introvert I know. I'm actually the most disorganized type A person I know.
Yeah. Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
In this episode, you freak out. You're not.
I scream. I scream in my closet,
well.
which I have tried. I've done it.
And you actually mentioned that this was one of the episodes where you, looking back now, you realize that your character was really, really mean to Lewis in this episode.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. And then when we started to unpack it, you guys were like, "No, she was just under a lot of stress." And I was like, "Oh, I guess that does track." But man, I felt really angry.
It definitely felt like it was.
I was angry.
It definitely felt like it was a bit harsher than is normal for at least for the show.
For Ren.
Yeah, for Ren.
But I felt like it was really important too because normally you always see Ren so put together. She's so type A, so always on her shit. I thought it was really important to really see that, hey, she's a human.
That she could have a bad day.
She can have a bad day.
Maybe, maybe that's why they kept it in, to be honest, because they were adults cutting this saying, oh, wow, that's a new color for her. And I think as a young actor, I was just like, okay, I'm truly playing this for keeps. I'm very angry. So for me, I wasn't thinking, I got to bring that back because it's not Ren enough. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think this was still early on where I wasn't truly, I think over time I did get comfortable in who Ren was.
Oh, sure.
Because then eventually it's like, well, Ren wouldn't say that.
Yeah.
You say, oh, well, Beans wouldn't say that. Well, Donnie wouldn't say that. And it's like you start to play into that pathology of the character, whereas when you're early on, you're still kind of truly defining the limitations and the psychosis of the character.
But I think that there's some truth to that too, though. Like when you really get to know a character and it becomes somewhat comfortable, you get a sense of what your character would say and would not say in a certain situation, and
you get protective of your character
but that's part of giving it an identity, which is why they become so close to you and they take on your own traits.
That's why it sucks if somebody's like, oh yeah, we're going to replace you.
Yeah.
And you've given yourself so much to a character. You're like, oh, I guess I could be replaced.
And that's, I think, the toughest thing about honestly being an actor is you have all these things that you're going to do for, your character, but at the end of the day, it ain't your character.
Yeah.
You're playing a part. It's
a job.
You're employed by the director to illuminate the sides which are already written there. You know, so your interpretation of the character might be totally different than the directors or the writers.
Did you like the opportunity? I know this was not your like great singing debut.
Oh, but it was actually.
But was it really?
Well, think about it. With everything we've watched so far, I've done these little bits of singing that they kind of utilize, but I was mostly doing like opera. And it was these like little bits of things that they gave Ren because she felt like, oh, she would know how to sing opera. She's uptight, you know?
Yeah.
And it's true. I mean, I was uptight and I did know how to sing opera. But then we see her bust out into ABBA, who, by the way, I had no idea who ABBA was.
I actually remember that somehow.
You really?
Yeah.
I was like, ew, this music. I hated it.
I recall vaguely how this went down on the set where you were like, it was oh my God, I'm going blank. Hair and makeup.
They were into all that.
Yeah,
music.
They were.
I think they were mortified that
they
I didn't
were
know
playing
who ABBA
this
was.
for you. They were like helping you get caught up on this.
They were playing it like that whole week so that I could like listen to ABBA.
It was a funny moment trying to bring you in on some 70s music.
Were you guys ever karaokeers at bars? You ever,
oh, hell yeah.
Yeah? What was your go-to karaoke song at a bar?
Actually, ironic, Barracuda.
Barracuda?
Yeah, I do love Heart.
Funny.
Oh, that's awesome. What about you, Nick?
God, no.
I feel like some Frank Sinatra.
Nick.
No, I can pull off some Frank Sinatra, but I dated this girl once who was such a sweetheart, such a great girl. And unfortunately, I was not a good guy at the time.
Yeah.
And like she was just a beautiful, trustworthy, open, loving person. And I was, this
fuckboy
20-something-year-old dude who was coming off a show and still wanted to kind of like, live in the success of that for a moment and was not an honest boyfriend. So anyway, segue. We went to Catalina Island once, and Lindsay was just like she was.
Did you have a place in Catalina, or what was your tie to Catalina?
No.
You just would sail out to Catalina a lot.
No, actually, I never. So I had a sailboat,
Yeah.
but I never actually sailed to Catalina until like years later.
Okay.
So anyway, Lindsay and I went to Catalina Island for like a romantic weekend there, and we went to a bar where they were doing karaoke. And Lindsay is awesome at everything and can sing and is cute and like, and she was like, let's do karaoke. And I'm like, I suck at karaoke. I'm like, don't put me on that stage. Not only did we go up on stage and do karaoke, but she chose a song from Grease.
Aww.
With John
Summer
Travolta.
Lovin'.
Something like, I can't recall which one it is.
Summer Lovin'.
No, it wasn't that. Wait, maybe it was. I don't.
Grease Lightning.
All I know is it's when John Travolta hits those super high notes.
Oh no!
I met a girl crazy
Yeah,
for
yes.
me.
This is it.
I want to see this. I wish I was here.
So we're
bad.
at a crowded bar and we go up on stage to sing this song from Grease. And every time she's on, everyone's into it. Every time I'm on singing my part of the song,
They're like,
it's
yeah!
cringy. And I literally had some guy come up to me after we got done saying, hey man, you're lucky she was up there with you. I was like, don't ever do that to me again.
Yo, karaoke
Don't ever do that to me
is
again.
very triggering. What about you? Do you karaoke?
It's
Do you
sink
sing?
or swim. Yeah, I do Wet Ass Pussy by Cardi B. It's definitely my go-to.
WAP. We also call that WAP.
WAP.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
WAP
Oliver.
for the kids version, for the Disney Bop, for the Kidz Bop version.
So they actually do. Wait, I've seen
I
people.
prefer WAP.
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen people talk about Kidz Bop, and they have a lot of inappropriate songs that the kids end up doing in like code. Like they change the words.
Yeah.
I think they have that recent song.
You can't change the words to WAP.
Unholy. I think they actually have like Unholy and stuff like that. But yeah, don't get me started on Kidz Bop. That thing is like, whew.
How come we
Yeah.
never did
That
like
thing
a
is
Disney
shady.
Kidz Bop?
We did Circle of Life.
What's Kidz Bop?
It's just a pop group that has like kids come in and out of it all the time, and like the group is mostly just like produced by whoever owns the IP. And I did something like it like a long time before I came to LA, called the Broadway Kids, where everybody in the pop group was a kid who had been on Broadway. So of course they were super trained. They could do like live performance, and we did an off-Broadway show. So it's mostly just a means to make money through the kids, you know, performing. And the kids want to keep their it's like fun because it's kind of like summer camp. But Kidz Bop's like a multi-million-dollar thing that's been going for a long time.
Wow.
So I know there's a one girl I'm trying to get on Vulnerable who's like an ex-Kidz Bopper who has like all the tea that I really want to chat with her because I feel like Kidz Bop, there's something amiss about it. I just can't put my finger on it. But anyway.
Thanks so much for watching this clip of the Even More Stevens podcast. For full episodes, check us out on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you get podcasts. If you want more of us in your life, well then join our Patreon today. Link is in the description.